Hey everyone, this is Tom Spall, Instructional Technology Specialist here in Brenham, IC. I'm here with Troy Kuhn, another Instructional Technology Specialist, and we are going to show you how to use your brand new Promethean Interactive Panel board. So you'll notice right off the bat that you have a bunch of buttons down here on the front of the board, a power button, which we're going to select to turn on your Promethean board, and that's as easy as it is right there. It pops up for you. You also have some other buttons on here, such as volume, your fire button, which is kind of your options, and we'll get to that in a second. You have a freeze button up here. You also have a can't do anything board. It kind of locks up your board so it doesn't have touch sensory on there. And then your input button is over here. So when you want to switch your inputs, which we'll show you later, that's how you can change it. So the first thing we're going to do is show you different ways that you can use the board straight out of the box. So Troy's going to come over here and click the middle button, which is your fire button. And what we're going to do first is focus on this button that Troy's pointing to. It's called your owner button. And right now your default is just a new user type of setup. And so you can actually sign in and create a profile for you by touching that and then going to your settings on that new user profile. On here, you're going to set up your account by signing into your information. You can rename this owner as you.
For those of you that are going to share your classroom, that you have another teacher in your room, your inclusion teacher. So one of you needs to be the owner, and then the other one will be the guest, which will, add new user. And then you can switch back and forth. Your profiles are on there. If you're not going to change, if you're both basically using what one person's got set up, as you see later, you can probably just stay in the owner's category. But this allows you that if you were not there that day, or if you were doing something different, or if there's a sub or something, this allows somebody else to come in and not change your settings and all that. But for today, right now, let's just look at signing in as you, the owner.
All right, so now we're going to look at some of the apps within the board. So you can click on your active button right here, which is also it looks like a fire. And when you click on there, we're going to look at anything that is straight out of the box. You have no other connections going on. So right here, you have your whiteboard app. So you can click on the whiteboard app. And what it's going to bring up is your interactive whiteboard that's directly on your panel. So this is right out of the box. We also have pens for you. Each board comes with a set of pens. Each board has over 20 different touch points, so you can have multiple kids working on the board at the same time. Troy, you want to take them through some of the settings?
Well, first let's just start writing on the board here. So as you're writing, one side is your pen. The other side, if you flip it over, it can be your eraser. There also are these options as well over on the side, but it is a little different than you may be used to with the smartboard because of this little function here. Now, let's say, I don't have to use my pen. I can just use my pointer and erase and move as well. Let's say, though, I want to look at something besides what we have for our background is just blank. I have this built-in template of all these different screens here I can scroll through. So let's just say I want some writing paper like that. Now I have that as my background. Anything that I want to write is on top of that. I also can switch over. We have many things here. So graph paper for those of you working in math or whatever it may be.
All right, and you also have a photo button, so you can go through your gallery and check those out as well. So if you click on that button, that is the photos on the side, you have charts and templates already built in for you. Fractional planes, circle fractions, you have a bunch of options right here. That's a Venn diagram. If you click on it, it'll bring it into your thing just like that as an image. So you can write all over it. You can use the pen, or like we said earlier, you can use your fingers as well. Smart versus Promethean and the differences and similarities. And then you also have some other options that you can bring in your own images. So you can connect a USB and put those on, or like we're going to show you in a little bit, you can hop into Chromium or into your Google Drive and bring in images from your connected Google Drive as well.
So if you push the middle button, the fire button as we're kind of referring to, the flame button, one of the features over here next to owner is locker, and this is where you can find all the resources that came with that. You make sure you click on it. And you can see there's a lot of different things that are built into Promethean. They added timers, spinners, all kind of functions there. And if you scroll over, you will see some other things that they have. But eventually you will get to some apps that we've pushed out as a department, and more things can come through there. So you have your Google devices here, Chrome, Sheets, everything right there, as well as YouTube. So again, a lot of what we're going to show you, you can do without even hooking up your laptop or anything to this. You can just have these functions, and once you sign in to one of them as the owner for any of these Google products, then you can get into any of that. And that's tied to your account, so you don't have to worry about someone else getting in there if you sign out of your owner. We can show you that too.
There's also a settings button over here. So if you click on settings, you can check out the brightness of the board. You can make the brightness go up or down. Actually, making it go down would be better for our board so you guys can see a little bit better instead of having such a bright screen. You can also change the contrast, change the volume. You can do the volume in the settings here, or you can also change the volume directly on your board right here. And then this is a really important mode right here, these two buttons. So we have palm mode is turned on or off. If you have palm mode turned on, that means you can erase with your palm. If you have it turned off, that will not work for you. So if you have it turned off and you're using the pen, when you're using your palm as well to like push against the board, it's not going to recognize that. So that's actually a nice way to turn that off. And then you also have second pen mode, which will be able to have more people than just the one right on the board. So you have, right now, I think you have about 4 pens that come with your board. And there's other things that you can use, like chopsticks and stuff, as your pen, and we'll show you that as well. Okay?
All right, you want to log in as your Google account. So if I go back here and I go to my owner icon, and you'll see this little, it's kind of hard to see here, but there's a little cloud at the very end. And when I click the cloud, now I can click Google Drive. And when I sign into this account, then all those other apps that you saw in here, Sheets and Docs and Drive, all that is now logged in to your Google account, including YouTube as well. So again, I'm not even logged in, connected to my laptop. I can get to all those things up here once I log in through my Google account.
And that's the same for any of the apps that we push out. So if you want to have Class Dojo push out or any other apps in the future, just let us know and we'll talk to our department about pushing out those apps just to your board. Again, those aren't on your connected computer. We have nothing connected right now. All right, so now we're going to show you how to connect your actual teacher laptop to the board. So again, we still don't have anything connected. Each board comes with its own software built in where you can just sign into Google within the board. But if you want to have your laptop connected, there are multiple ways to do that. The first way that we're going to show you is using a downloaded software called ScreenShare. So ScreenShare lives on your computer once you download it, and that email should have went out. And we'll also have all these resources on our Brenham IC website for you as well. So once you download the ScreenShare app, you're going to open it on your computer like this. And then it's going to ask you to type in the panel, active panel, digit key. Once it comes up, it's going to show you how to type in the panel ID number. So you're going to go over to your board. You're going to open up your apps. You can either click on the button or you can bring up the little arrow right there. And you're going to bring up the ScreenShare app that's on your board. And now it made a ScreenShare panel ID number right here. And the number is 451152 for this board. So I have Troy over here. He's typing in that number, 451152. And that's just for this board. And then before he clicks, he's also going to, there's a little button right here that says Enable Touchback. So if I don't have that selected, I won't be able to control my computer screen from the board by touching it. So you want that touchback so you can be able to control. And then he's going to connect. All right, now that Troy connected the board right there by clicking on the button, on my side, what you're going to see is you're going to notice that there's now a 1 next to the name, next to the people icon. So I'm going to click on that. Again, this is what the board is. It says the PIN number, and that says how many people are waiting to get on. So Troy named my computer Tech, but you can call it your name or whoever or whatever. This is also your waiting room for connected devices such as your Android device, your phone, your iPhone, also the students' Chromebooks. So if you have students want to connect with the Screen Share Chromebook extension, we're going to be pushing that as well, and that's how they're going to connect as well. They can't just overtake your board. They have to sit in the waiting room. So right here, you're going to click on that and then say Share. And now that screen is now up on my board, just like that. And again, just a quick mention, we didn't open up the Screen Share extension yet for students. That's going to be coming down the line. We have to first train on that, make sure we push it out correctly. So be waiting for that update later on, but that's not out yet. All right, so once we're connected, now we have our computer screen here. And since I enabled touchback, whatever I click on or if I drag, I can now control my desktop computer screen, my laptop computer screen, from the actual board because it now has that touchback. So my computer could be sitting anywhere in my room. It could be all the way to the back, and now you're connected virtually with your computer screen. Again, we're trying to go as wireless as possible here. And like Troy's shown over here, you can now connect with any of the software that you already have on your actual laptop.
All right, so earlier we were talking about signing in to the board into your Google accounts, and you could get to those through that without being connected to your laptop. But now that we are connected to our laptop, you can also go in and go into our Chrome or anything else that we have here already in your laptop itself. So you have two options of using this, either with your computer attached to it, or you don't have to because you're already logged in with it on the Promethean board. So when you are done with this and you don't want to share your screen anymore, you can click it on your computer, or you can just click right here. And now I've disconnected. You see, I no longer am displaying my screen on the Promethean board. We're just back to us in it.
All right. Now that we showed you the screen share, that's how you can connect your laptop with your board virtually. So now there are a lot of people that still like to be what we call hardlined in, like you still like to have a cord connected from your laptop screen to the board. Most of our computers in our district have HDMI inputs, so we're going to connect an HDMI cord from our computer to our HDMI. Now, we encourage you not to use the front connections right here, just because we don't want a kid walking by and snapping it or hitting it or making it fall loose. So on the side, on the back side of your board, there are other HDMI connections, VGA connections if you need those. And that's what we're going to do to connect our board. All right. And again, to re-emphasize the fact, you do not need to have any cables connected to your board. That's our main goal as instructional technology specialists. We want you to be as wireless as possible so you don't have to have that hard connection. So again, the boards will come with an HDMI cord tucked in the back side of your board, but you can use screen share to connect, and then we can also, if you are worried about your document camera, we're going to show you in a couple of videos how to connect your document camera to your PC and then screen share to the board. So again, you don't need to have any connections whatsoever. All right, so now we're going to talk about connecting your document camera. So again, all we're going to do is screen share our screen. So Troy's going to click on screen share app and then my applications on the left side. Nope. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. He's going to click on the screen share app and open up screen share. And we're going to reconnect to our board. So again, I open this or click on my fire button, open up screen share. And we're going to have that same ID and make sure we enter the waiting room. Now that he's entered, you can see that his name is right here. So we're going to click on Troy and allow Troy to share the screen up here. And now I have my document camera plugged into my PC. So it's connected with what we call, it's called a USB A to B cord. So my document camera is not connected to my board. It's only connected to my computer by one cord. And then within there, Troy is going to open up the application on my device called Sphere. And now this is the Sphere software that we have on all your computers and your devices. And it brings up whatever is under my document camera, if it's AverMedia. If it's not an AverMedia document camera, there's other softwares that we have in our district that we can make sure to get onto your device. Or you can just connect your document camera directly to your board by a VGA cable. VGA is this cable right here. It has the little screws. Or if it's an HDMI, if it's a newer one, you can connect that straight to the board too. But again, we want to emphasize that we're trying to do everything wireless, so we prefer it if you connected using screen share and then the app. Oh,